My name is Lisa. I live with my husband, John, and our son, Michael. John and I have been married for 10 years. We are happy, or at least, we used to be. We have a comfortable life, a lovely house, and a garden. John works hard. He's a good husband and father. 6 months ago, we hired Alex to help around the house. Alex cleans, takes care of the garden, and sometimes looks after Michael. He's quiet, polite, and always smiling. At first, I didn't notice Alex much. He was just someone who helped around the house. One evening, everything changed. I came home late from work. John was still at the office, and Michael was asleep. Alex was sitting in the kitchen, reading a book. I sat down beside him, and we started talking. He told me about himself, that he moved here for work, had no family nearby, and often felt lonely. We talked for hours that night. It felt nice. After that, something shifted between us. One night, John left on a business trip for 3 days. It was just me, Michael, and Alex at home. On the first evening, we had dinner together. After Michael went to bed, Alex and I stayed up, talking again. We laughed and shared stories. Suddenly, without thinking, I leaned over and kissed him. It was a small kiss, but it felt big. I immediately pulled back, feeling shocked and guilty. I told Alex it was a mistake. He said nothing, only looked at me quietly. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about John. What had I done? I loved John. I still did, but now, everything felt different. I promised myself it would never happen again. But a few days later, when John was still away, it did. This time, the kiss wasn't short or accidental. It was deep and real. And I didn't stop it. I felt scared, confused, and trapped. I knew I had crossed a line, and I didn't know how to stop. When John returned, everything seemed normal. We continued our life as usual, family dinners, watching TV, playing with Michael, but deep down, I carried a heavy secret. Alex and I didn't talk about what happened, but whenever John wasn't around, we exchanged meaningful glances. The guilt ate away at me every day. One night, lying next to John in bed, I watched him sleep and felt overwhelmed by sadness. He trusted me completely, and I had betrayed that trust. I felt awful, yet I couldn't find the courage to confess. Then, a few weeks later, I discovered John had secrets too. He was seeing another woman. I found messages from someone named Sarah on his phone. Initially, I was furious. How could he do this? But soon, I realized I was no better. We were both hiding things, both pretending everything was fine when it wasn't. Eventually, I couldn't handle it anymore. The secrets became too heavy. One evening, after Michael fell asleep and Alex had gone home, I told John the truth. My heart raced, and my voice shook as I confessed everything about Alex. John listened quietly, expressionless at first. Then, softly, he admitted he had been seeing someone too. We sat in silence, absorbing our shared betrayal. We had both made mistakes. We had both hurt each other. But now, finally, there were no secrets between us. That night, we decided to talk openly. It wasn't easy, but we admitted our mistakes, our loneliness, and our regrets. We still loved each other deeply and wanted to repair our marriage. We agreed to let Alex go, understanding it was necessary. Though difficult, we also chose to seek marriage counseling. The first few sessions were painful. The counselor asked challenging questions. "Why did you kiss Alex?" she asked me. At first, I didn't know how to answer. Eventually, I admitted I felt lonely. John was often busy, and I felt unseen. Alex made me feel special. Hearing this hurt John deeply. But it was a truth we both needed to face. Rebuilding trust took time. After confessing, John became cautious around me. If I was late, he worried. If I used my phone, he glanced nervously. Likewise, I felt uncertain about him, constantly wondering if he thought of Sarah. Trust was fragile, but we were committed to rebuilding it slowly. To fix our marriage, we made practical changes. John started coming home earlier. We spent more time together, going to the park, having family dinners, watching movies, and laughing with Michael. Slowly, we rediscovered joy as a family. One night, I asked John about Sarah. It was difficult, but I needed to understand. He admitted Sarah was a coworker and reassured me their relationship had ended before my confession. Hearing this was both painful and comforting. We sat quietly afterward until John gently said, "Lisa, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I love you, and I never want to lose you." "I love you too," I whispered back sincerely. Over the next several months, our relationship improved significantly. We established new rules: no more secrets, honest communication, and immediate discussions if something troubled us. Michael felt happier, surrounded by the genuine love and care of his parents. He no longer asked about Alex, gradually forgetting him. A year later, John and I took a special trip together. Just the two of us. We visited a quiet beach town, walking hand in hand by the ocean, sharing meals, and discussing our dreams for the future. On the last evening, John surprised me. He pulled a small box from his pocket, revealing a beautiful new wedding ring. "This is our new start," he said, smiling warmly. "A fresh beginning for us." My eyes filled with tears as I took the ring. "I love you, John," I said softly. "I love you too, Lisa," he replied gently. Today, our marriage feels stronger than ever. We're closer, more open, and honest. Our past mistakes taught us important lessons about love, trust, and forgiveness. Although we occasionally attend counseling to maintain our relationship's strength, we now know that a happy marriage requires constant effort, patience, and understanding. Life and marriage aren't perfect. We still face challenges, but we face them together. Every day, I'm grateful for our second chance, for the opportunity to build a loving, truthful, and meaningful life with John. After everything, our home is finally full of genuine love, laughter, and honesty, exactly as it should be.